Hey, Stacy, welcome to the show.
Hi, Rachel. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. So why
This is
don't
going to be fun.
I know? So why don't you just start off telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I started back right out of high school. That summer, I turned 18 and I decided to start. I was a dancer in high school and I decided to start for fun, just a little middle school competitive dance team while I was going to college. So I thought, okay, this will be fun. I'll do my passion on the side. I'll go get my degree, get a real job. And that first summer, I had 17 dancers come to the backyard. Within 3 years, I had 100 dancers come into that backyard. And then finally I was going, I'm getting a business degree. I already have these people, they weren't paying me at the time. I was just doing it for free for fun. But I thought maybe this could be a business. Maybe I could actually do what I love to do and get paid for it. So by the time I was 21, I incorporated, opened up, started charging, and the business just really snowballed. And now that's this summer, it'll be 16 years ago, the backyard story started. So crazy. We have probably around 1,000 music and dance students because we added music in. We have about 40 employees. We gross over $1 million a year. We have 2 locations that I own, both commercial buildings. It's insane how that has come. So that's really kind of where my entrepreneurial journey actually started. And it's funny because it was never going to be a business. It was just this little side hobby for free. I mean, there was never going to be income coming in with it. So I love that it ended up being everything to me. And I still own it, still run it today. But I'm not in the business. So I'm able to delegate to an amazing team and then continue to grow and learn and do what I love to do.
That is so awesome. So then you made the transition into online business. How long
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah. So it's been like I don't know if I'm at 2.5 yet, but 2.5 years maybe. A couple years ago, and I was pregnant. So this is how I kind of remember how old I was oh my goodness, how old it was a story, I guess, because of how old Tegan is now. But yeah, I decided I was getting a little bored. And that's actually where my second location for my dance studio came in, because I was delegating. I had systems, the team was in place, everybody was doing what they were supposed to be doing, and it was like there wasn't enough for me to feel challenged. So I thought, why don't I open a second location up, and that'll give me something to work on. But because there were systems in place and I had a team, it was actually really easy to duplicate what we just did. And very quickly it became profitable, and it again didn't need me. So it didn't solve my problem. So I realized then that a third location would not help because of how quickly it happened. So I thought, okay, well, a lot of people were already asking me for business advice. I had like a karate studio call me up and want to, details. And then I had somebody who owns a chocolatier shop ask me questions. A friend whose husband was a doctor and wanted to open up his own clinic. Just the most random people were calling and asking. I thought maybe I could start coaching other businesses online. So that's how this happened in the online space. And trust me, I've got my challenge. I'm good to go now. This is something that takes a lot of my time, but I love it. I cannot wait to wake up and help other entrepreneurs create a successful business.
It's so crazy that you've been doing this for 2.5 years and you've
I
already
know.
built such like an incredible business and a huge platform.
That's what I love about the online space is you can do it so quickly. Like it's just, you can, and Rachel, you know it, like you can blow up that fast. And that's what the great opportunity is online. You can't do this in a brick and mortar offline business without having these expenses of rental income, like rental or your mortgage or all of the crazy stuff that comes along with it. So I get really excited talking about the online space because the opportunity is so huge and it's for anyone.
Absolutely. So your specialty is launching. Why don't you talk to us about launching?
Yeah.
What is it? Why should we do it?
Yeah. Well, and I'll kind of give a little backstory because why launching? I come from a brick and mortar dance studio. How in the world am I teaching online launching? So when I came into the online space, I thought, well, one thing that I really like is masterminds. I've been in a mastermind right away since the age of 21. I went to my first conference, signed up for their mastermind, and I've been in masterminds now for over a decade. So I thought, I know how to host a mastermind. I'm always doing peer-led ones. I'm the leader of it. So let's try this. So I launched a mastermind. And when I launched that mastermind, it was a huge launch, like $60,000 right out of the gate. 20 women signed up. It was more than I ever imagined. And after that launch, everybody said, how did you just do that? How, like, teach me what you did. Teach me how I can do that. So I started to teach people that process. And all of a sudden I became known for launching, which is so crazy because that's not even what I've been working on the last 16 years. But when I look at what launching is, it's everything I've been working on the last 16 years. So it really does tie in perfectly.
So talk to us for like a business newbie. What does it mean to launch?
Yeah. So launch can be a really scary word for people. So I always say, think about the word promotion, right? You're just going to have a promotion or a sale of some sort. You're creating an experience for people or an event for people to just come in, get a glimpse of you, and then decide, do I want to buy from her or not? So that's really what a launch is. It's just, we're going to promote something in a specific period of time. And it's just this big thing for your business at that moment in time, basically.
Okay. Why do you think we should do these in our businesses?
Yeah. So I think there needs to be a huge sense of urgency in your business, like a reason for people to buy right this second and not buy later. So in the beginning of my online business, I mean, things didn't just take off for me immediately. I mean, there was definitely some trial and error. And I thought I could just come out and say, hey, I'm doing business coaching. Everybody, here's the link. Go buy. And then I would wait at my email for the receipts to come in. And I'm like, why is nobody buying? I'm like so confused, right? Like how many of us do that?
Doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately not. So the problem is we don't have any urgency when we just say, hey, here's what I'm doing. Go buy this, right? You need a reason to buy right now. And I was never really conveying that. People knew they could come now, they could come later. It didn't really matter. So I think launching is great for that urgency. It's great if there's scarcity around it. So not just time, but maybe there's only 20 spots available, or maybe you're only working with 3 people next month privately, whatever that is. When you create that, oh my goodness, I need to get this now, people actually pull out their credit cards and buy.
Okay. So what are the different styles of launching that you can do?
Yeah. So a couple of the ways that I've been doing, and I'll kind of talk about my favorite too. So 5-day challenges are great. Webinars are great, really great to automate. 5-day challenges are not the best to automate. Webinars you can. Facebook Live video series, we've done these where maybe we come out Monday, Wednesday, Friday and teach something, or we do a month of something where we come out every Wednesday. And then that last day we might sell something at the end. And then there's another way of pre-recording videos and actually just sending out those videos right to their inbox, taking them on a journey with you. And at the end, you go to sell them something.
Okay. So what's your favorite?
So my favorite by far is the 5-day challenge, but I will say it has to be in real time. 5-day challenges are not that great when they are evergreen, when people can always go check them out, because it's the excitement behind a 5-day challenge is everybody engaging and posting. And you feel like you are on this journey with all these other people who are doing exactly what you're doing. And it feels like this community versus you opening up an email, doing it yourself. And if you don't do it, nobody knows, right?
Yep.
So I think 5-day challenges are great for launching in the moment. I also I love webinars for passive income, but usually webinars come after that big launch with the 5-day challenge, right? So I think 5-day challenges are a great way to start just to build up engagement, because so many of us, we might not even be ready really to launch yet. And we just need to get a Facebook group going or a community, a list builder going. This is a great way to do that.
How do we get people into that challenge?
Yeah. So you want to make sure you have an email attached to this. So I just had somebody in one of my programs say, I'm not launching yet because I'm still working on growing my list. Okay. Which, yes, I get that, but know that your challenge, your webinar will grow your list.
Yep.
If you want to grow your list, you need a reason to get people to opt in, right? They have to I'm not going to give you my email unless I really, really want whatever it is you're giving me, right? So you've got to give them a good reason. And sometimes our freebies, our free downloads, they're just not good enough. You know, I can find them online for free without giving my email. So you've got to give them something good enough. And a lot of times that challenge is just what they're looking for, or same thing with that masterclass, that webinar.
Okay, where should I find the people to join my challenge if I'm like brand new in business?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, now that you know Rachel, you know her Pinterest strategy. And honestly, that's a great strategy, especially if you have no budget. So I usually tell people Facebook ads are my number one place that I'm getting these leads. But if you're going, I have $0, then Rachel's your girl, because Rachel has gotten $0 leads from Pinterest using her strategy. So I would say that's a great place to start if you're brand new. But if you're not brand new and you're really wanting to take it to that next level, so if you've seen Rachel or you've seen myself do these challenges, you know we're spending money on Facebook ads and some paid advertising on top of that organic traffic that we're also trying to get.
Okay. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see people make when they're launching?
Oh, so I'm going to bring out a couple of these.
Okay.
So number one, and it's not even when they're launching, it's that they're afraid to launch. So again, the person that says, I'm not big enough, right? I don't have a list yet. That's a big mistake, because I grow my list every single time I'm doing a launch, right? Then they'll say, I don't have a product yet. Okay. And I would love if we have time to chat about pre-selling.
Yes.
Because that scares people so much. And I really just want to talk about how you can create and validate a product before you ever actually put it all together and have it sitting there, right? So I think people hold themselves back because they don't have a product. They don't have an audience, right? They don't know who's going to actually buy. And those things actually are solved by launching, which is funny because it's holding you back, but launching will give you the answer you're looking for. So those are big ones. Another one I would say is people assuming it will take a long time for somebody to buy something from them. So they're nervous that this cold lead will take months or years before they're going to purchase something. So they're thinking, well, I just started in business, so I shouldn't be making money quite yet. So wrong. So Rachel made money like immediately, right? Immediately in your business.
Yeah.
And I think if you do it the right way, you can make money immediately in your business too. You do not, like, imagine, Rachel, if somebody had told you you needed to wait 6 months. Imagine what you would have missed out on the last 6 months of your business.
I couldn't even imagine.
I know. And you know, it's one of these things that I actually say on a masterclass that I do, how it can happen quickly. And somebody purchased my program, and afterwards she said, the number one reason I bought your program is because you are the first person I've ever heard say it can happen quickly. Everybody tells me it could take years. And I'm sure they say that because they're a little nervous of what if my strategies don't work for them, and it really does take them a while. So my take on it is it can happen literally immediately. Like today, you could send out something and something could happen. However, you've got to put the work behind it, right? I don't know people that are like there are people that own my launching program that have had crazy results, and people that are like, I've tried everything, but nothing's working. And I'm like, you didn't try everything. You haven't even watched the videos, and you're not implementing. So you've got to actually implement to see the work. So, okay, sorry, long story over here, long tangent, but it doesn't have to take that long. Not if you do it right and you have the strategies in place. It can happen by an email today. That's how quickly we've seen this work.
That's how it worked for me. Cause I literally sent one email and it was $750 without a product with that email. I was like, okay, this stuff
I can
works.
do this. Yeah.
I can do this. That was so exciting.
And can I add, like, I'm going to interview you for a second.
Yeah.
What did that do for you that first week when you brought in $750?
I had so much confidence because before I was just like attached to my network marketing company. And when I made that much on my own with my own stuff, I was just like, okay, I got this. I can do it.
And here's the part that stinks for so many people. They don't have the Rachel success in 1 week. They don't get that confidence. And all of a sudden, they're going, why is nobody buying? Am I really not good enough? Should I really not be doing this? And then they quit their business. So the fact that you got that confidence so quickly, it just kept snowballing for you. And I feel bad when it doesn't happen for other people because they're just not doing it. I just had a client message me this morning and say, I'm so excited to tell you, which she said this, but I was kind of like cringing. She said to me, I launched my program, like 14 people bought. It was like, I think like $7,000, some crazy number. And she said, I've been sitting on this for a year. Okay. Now the reason I cringed was she could have done that a year ago. And imagine where she'd be a year, like right now, she'd be in a totally different place. Yep. So I'm so proud of her that she finally did it and she put herself out there because I knew she could do it. But so many people don't have what it takes to wait a year of not getting the results they want. And that's when they quit. That's when they decide, I'll go back to my network marketing. I'll go back to being a stay-at-home mom. I'll keep my 9 to 5. This isn't working. So you need that confidence booster to really make that happen. So it can be scary when you wait too long. I have this application on my website where people can work with me. And I was doing a launch recently and I went back to check everybody that had applied in the last like 6 months. So I was like, I'm going to check out and see what these people are doing and see who I could really help. And one girl that I checked out, she wrote in her application that she was getting ready to work with me and she wanted to work with me in the next 3 to 6 months. When I went to look at her website, her domain was for sale. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, people are always trying to like get ready, but the get ready is like, let's do the strategies. Like, let's start launching, let's start prepping, let's start creating. And they don't think that that's not their mindset yet. And that can really devastate their business. I mean, literally devastate your business.
I literally just posted that yesterday. Stop getting ready to get ready.
Yes. Oh, seriously. Like, I don't think people get that. That needs to be everywhere, all over the place. Like, we are in our getting ready stage right now. I cannot tell you the amount of people that I hear say, like, I'm getting ready right now. I can't wait to hire you. Like, let's have people like Rachel and myself help you get ready, because it'll go so much faster and you'll do it the right way. Because they think they're getting ready and then they come work with us. And then what do? Change everything that they've just done because they didn't do it the right way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So what if we do jump in and we do a launch, but nobody buys?
Yeah. Okay. So that absolutely can happen. Now, what people think about that is that it's a failure, right? I just had a failed launch. I'm so embarrassed. You learned so much from a failed launch that nobody bought. Okay. The information that you learn from a failed launch is so much more valuable than any strategy you can go out and pay for, right? Because you're learning about your audience. You're learning about what they want, what they didn't. Maybe that the price was too high. They would have bought it at a cheaper price point. Maybe they're going, that topic wasn't for me. I'm not really interested in that. So even if the worst that can happen is you launch and 0 people buy. And the best thing is you've learned so much for that next launch. So get that out of your head that a $0 launch is a failure, because it's not.
I love that. Tony Robbins says failure is just feedback. And that's exactly what it is.
Totally. And like, it's the quickest way to success.
Yep.
If you don't have feedback and you are sitting at home for a year trying to create this perfect product, and all you've done is postponed a better product and program that you could be selling right this second.
Yep. I love that. So talk to us about pre-launching. So if we're like, what do we need to do to get ready for the launch?
Yeah.
Let's start there.
So when I say that you can launch and it'll build your list, part of launching is pre-launching. And that's where I think people mix this up. They think, okay, I'm going to do a challenge on Monday and it's Wednesday. And you're like, no. Like we had stuff we had to do to prep for this. Mm-hmm. So one of my mentors always talks about the runway method, where picture you're on an airplane. An airplane needs a runway to take off. A lot of people are sitting in this airplane, just sitting there, and they just think it's going to like go up in the air. We need that runway, and that runway is our pre-launch stage. So when you're pre-launching, that's when we're really trying to grow our list a little bit to get them excited about the challenge or webinar or whatever it is you're doing. So one of the things that I see people do this they do this incorrectly, and it gives them that $0 launch. Sometimes you have a great product, but you have the wrong people in the challenge, right? Mm. So when you're warming up your audience, and one of my things is I give a really great free download, something to start building my list before I actually promote the challenge or the webinar or anything like that. Now, here's where people go wrong. Their freebie, their free download has nothing to do with their challenge. Like, it's a totally different topic. So it would be like Rachel going, check out my 10 ways to create Instagram posts. And then on the launch, she's selling something about Pinterest. And people are going, but I don't care about Pinterest. I came here for Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to make sure we're in alignment with that runway, with that pre-launch strategy. So where it starts is usually now where people think. The people think, I'm going to create a freebie, then I'm going to create a challenge, then I'm going to create a product. And it's really the opposite. So what is the product we're trying to sell? What would be a great challenge to sell that product? And then what would be a great freebie to get people excited about the challenge, right? Like, it all needs to flow. And that's usually the biggest problem. So again, imagine you're using the strategy with Rachel's Pinterest strategy, right? you have a really great pin that is all about, like this blog is all about the same topic that we're going to work on, right? And then when you're reading that blog post and then all of a sudden you're using Rachel's strategy and it's like, hey, get this free download. And then a couple weeks later, it's like, hey, go check out this challenge. These are your people, right? These are your people. So a failed launch could be so many reasons, because it could be, was that actually in alignment or not? So if it is in alignment and you have a failed launch, now we've got to look at that product because something didn't match up, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say, I always tell people I like at least 30 days of a pre-launch. The longer the runway, the more that airplane is going to be able to take off, right? So minimum 30 days is what I usually tell people. Now, do people break those rules? All the time. They're like, listen, it's December 27th. I just found you. I'm in the fitness space. I need to launch on January 1st. And I say, okay, go for it. But my point is, the longer the runway, the better this launch is going to be. So if you're upset that the launch didn't go the way that you wanted, but it's Wednesday and you decided today that you're doing something Monday, yeah, that's probably why, right? So what I like to do is show up consistently for that month at least, okay? And for me, it doesn't ever feel like I'm out of launch mode because I'm always showing up consistently, right? The problem is not everybody does that. So you need to be showing up weekly on Facebook Live or Instagram Live, whatever your platform is, your Facebook group. You need to be there. People can't just remember, like think about you the week before your challenge. We need to be warming them up, okay? So we know what the product is. We know what the challenge is. What are 4 topics, one a week for the next month that we can get people excited about this challenge, right? So in that free Facebook Live or whatever it's going to be for you, maybe it's a free blog post each week. What is a great freebie? We can already start to gather their emails, okay? Because it's very easy for people to just forget about your Facebook group or not check back in with you. So if we can get their emails, we're going to be much better off getting them enrolled in that challenge, okay? Now we're using messenger bots quite a bit as well. So we're also trying to gather messenger bot, Facebook, users as well. One interesting thing we just did with this challenge coming up is we have a messenger bot to have you register for the challenge. And then in there, we try to get your email. Now, about 50% of people are giving me their email, okay, which great, I'll take it. The other 50 aren't, but I still have direct access to them where like 90% of them are going to open up that message. So yeah, you win some, you lose some. I don't have their email, but I know they're going to open up those videos. That's pretty cool. So that's one of our strategies we're doing. Now, here's the thing. That 30-day strategy is planned probably the 30 days prior to that 30 days prior to the launch, right? And now you're thinking, but I need to make money tomorrow. Like I can't wait that long, okay? So this isn't the quick fix, make money tomorrow strategy. This is like the big, like blow your mind kind of launch that you're going to get out of this. So like Rachel said, she shot out an email and made $750. Like there are ways to do this. But when Rachel wants to have a big, crazy, successful launch, then yeah, there are strategies we're going to do beforehand to get people warmed up and excited so that it's just like the best experience ever. And they're going, Rachel, where do I buy now? Like, where is the sign up link? How do I get enrolled in your program?
I love that. So basically what you're saying is you don't have to have a course yet and you can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually hope you don't have a course yet because you probably haven't validated it and you probably haven't had people go through it yet. So if you already have a course, you may have to redo that course, right? It's not even like, oh, you're ahead of the game. Not necessarily. You may have missed certain steps. You may not have checked with your audience, done that market research, which is a huge part of the groundwork stage. So yeah, there's a lot to do before you want to create that product.
Can we launch with nothing in the course, or do you think we should have some of it done? How do you think that works?
That's a good question. So, I mean, people do it all different ways. Okay. I personally like to have something done because there is this real thing called buyer's remorse. And somebody will buy, and then you might make them wait a week or two. And in that week or two, they lose their excitement. They think, what did I do? I can't believe I just spent this kind of money. I don't have this money. I shouldn't have spent it. And they'll ask for a refund before they even see the program. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my personal strategy is I absolutely give them at least module 1 with some bonuses, enough that they're not going to get bored in the meantime when the program actually starts. So when I pre-sell, I typically give at least that amount, and then I try to stay a week ahead to give them that drip. But my personality, excuse me, my personality doesn't like to live like that week to week. So I will try to batch as much as I can. Once I know people are buying, the risk is over. Now we can go and create the program. So yeah, I will batch a couple weeks at a time to get it out there, and people then can now start to look at it as much as they want. They have unlimited access to it.
So good. Okay. Is there anything else you think we need to know about launching?
Well, and let me say this.
Yeah.
So I know people that literally have pre-sold the product that there is no content. There is nothing for them to see for a couple weeks. What you can do in the meantime, though, is jump on a group call, use Zoom. You can give them access to a Facebook community, let them chat with each other, give them homework, give them something to do. Like, you can take it off of your plate and put it on theirs. So one thing that I've done, just to kind of give you an example, is say, like, I might create a little worksheet that makes you talk about your 90-day goals, what you want out of this program, like, you know, give us stats of where your business is at right now, email list, you know, social media platform, like size, all of that. Because all of a sudden they have something to do, and that's what they're looking for. Okay. So you don't have to create anything. You could do something simple as that. But just know that you've got to make them feel confident they've made a good decision in your program while they're waiting to buy.
So good. So good. I hope everyone that's listening is going to get inspired to do their first launch. And
me too.
Yeah. Cool. So what's next for you?
Oh my goodness. So
a lot.
I'm like, where do I start? I do like to move quickly. I don't know. I think my biggest thing is, and this might sound funny, but I think my biggest thing is slowing down in the sense that I am really pushing automation this year. I have done a million launches, and I know what works and what doesn't. And because of all of the launch success and failures that I have had, I'm now able to pick the really good ones and automate and make those evergreen, selling every single day. Because they're like little mini launches within their own. And that's a whole nother podcast we could do. But that is just something where that's a stage I'm in. I'm kind of ready to reap the rewards of working my butt off for 2.5 years and just enjoy that time. So what's great about this is I'm able to kind of take back a lot of my privates now, take away a lot of my privates, and just focus on, I have this, the program that you're in, this powerhouse group, that they're like my absolute go-to women to work with because they're powerhouses. Like, they get things done, and who doesn't like to work with them? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's just focusing my energy on like these group programs that I have, and then automating the DIY version of those programs as well.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome. So where can we connect with you?
Yeah. So my two favorite places that you're going to find me on social media is going to be Instagram at Stacy Tuschl, my Facebook group, She's Building Her Empire. And that's everything. That's my podcast, She's Building Her Empire. That's my website, she'sbuildingherempire.com. But usually my handles on social media is just my name at Stacy Tuschl. So yeah, those are probably the best places to check me out. And just come say hi. I can't wait to hear what you've had from these takeaways. So definitely let me know.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Bye.